open mic on the mainland in front of new comedians that are judging you. You can feel it, you can feel it. Well, no comedians are judging you tonight. This is a simulation. So, we're gonna be doing our simulated best 5 minutes of material up front, just easy comedy that should flow nice and easy if they're a veteran. If you're a new comic, you know what? Best 5, worst 5, it's probably close to the same. So, just go for it, have a good time. Audience, we're not all real comedians. You're not real audience members. It's a simulation. It's a mutual feeling. We're agreeing to agree that this is like a simulation. There is no charge to be here tonight. So lower those expectations, right? Nobody needs to, you didn't spend money. If you don't like what you're hearing in the moment, it'll pass soon. There's great moments, there's bad moments. We laugh at all of it. That's the simulation. You guys ready to go? Yeah! All right, I'm gonna hit the simulation. I'm gonna start with my first set, and then I'm gonna bring up the first comedian. All right, ready? And begin simulation. So my name is Chino, and I live a very confusing life because of my name. If you don't understand, Chino is a Spanish word that means Chinese, and I'm neither. It's very confusing. I know, right? It sounds. I'm just such a swindler. My last name, LaForge, sounds exotic. It's French, LaForge. It means Smith. It's not exotic. Forge is in my last name. LaForge, the forgery, I'm a fraud. If you don't understand, it's all in my lineage. I hope you know right now that you're getting the best version of me. I've been doing my best to reclaim my life. I just recently lost 50 pounds. Thank you. Thank you. Unfortunately, this is the after photo, but yes, it is. The problem is when you're as large as me and you lose 50 pounds, people don't notice immediately. They like see me, they're like, hey, Chino, did you get like a haircut? I'm like, dude, I don't have hair, asshole. No, I lost half a Backstreet Boy. That's what just happened in my life. But I've always struggled with my size because I'm Polynesian. And the thing is, like, we are taking to weight regardless of our scenarios in life. We can't help it. Because there's no weight loss that is built for Polynesians. You know, you got Tybo. We don't have a Tybo. We don't have P90X. I tried that, by the way. Do you guys remember those P90X DVDs? Yeah, a guy that's 140 pounds is standing there like, you can do it. Just 10 more burpee pull-ups. I'm like, those are 2 workouts, asshole. No. Ever since I started P90X, I lost 7 DVDs to a thrift store. That's how bad. That's how bad that went. Hawaiians need a P90X to cater it to our lifestyle, right? Like P, try 30. Let's be honest, right? We can, 30 days we can do. 90 days, that's a commitment. 30 days, that's like a DUI. I can do that, like, right? 30 days, P, try 30. Put in the DVDs, and this brought us fat too. Awesome. We get to lose weight together. He's already sweating. I don't know why, but he's like, what's up, bro? My name's Kepa. I'm going to show you how to lose weight the Hawaiian way, bro. You ready? Number first workout. You ready, cousin? You going to sit on. Now stand up. 1. Try sit down, bro. Now stand up. That's 2, cousin. You're looking good, bro. You can do this. You can do this. Sit down. Enough already. Like, what? That's day 1? We're done? I'm gonna do day 1 3 times and go to go to my day job, feel amazing, right? Day 2 is actually day 7. Because days 2 through 6 were rest, obviously. Kevin's been working hard. But day 7, he's ready. He's like, what's up, bro? He's got sweatbands, sleeveless shirt. What's up, bro? Day 2, on day 7, you ready, cousin? Upper body, biceps, tries, delts, cuts. You ready? So what you're gonna do? You're gonna go outside of your garage to your second ice box, huh? Oh, Hawaiian, no lie. If you Hawaiian, you get 2 ice boxes. Go, bro. Open the door. Close them. 1. Try open the door. You feel that sweat. That's not sweat, that's condensation from the fridge. Close them, 2. Day 30, kept us fatter. He didn't lose weight. Neither did I. I'm a little frustrated. And he's like, you know what, brother? Day 30 is about learning how to love yourself. Like, all right, I didn't lose a pound, but I do feel better. That is actually, I can stock some stuffings with that. I'm an idea guy, if you can't tell. P, try 30 is an idea I'd like to have. I think I have $1 million idea somewhere here. I got 2 more ready. You know how babies always cry on airplanes? Can ruin a good flight. What if there was a smaller plane that was towed directly behind the plane that was full of babies, and all the flight stewards were little people? Doesn't that sound amazing? Thank you for flying Baby Air. All right, that's idea one. I don't know if it'll flip, but you know, it's a start. All right, here's the other one. Anybody have dogs that have anxiety when you leave? They always howl. Your neighbors complain. You hurt when you hear that from your dog? Check this out. A 24-hour channel that streams constantly. That's just people looking at the TV going, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? You're a good boy, get the ball, go, go. And throws it off screen and your dog. That would work for like 6 hours, I think. I don't know. Maybe get some celebrities on there, get Ryan Gosling, and be like, hey, who's a good boy, right? Sounds nah, the perverts would ruin that, right? The last thing we need is Ryan Gosling on a TV going, who's a good boy? Somebody's gonna have a ball gag in their mouth, like, I'm a good boy. I'm like, I don't want to give any more to those people than I already have. There's the million. All right, you guys ready to start this mic? No, he's mid-tier. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're gonna let people get a little bit more drunk before he goes on stage. Sure. That's just a little bit more. By the way, we do have drink specials. We went over them. I'll see if I can do it again. We have $8 Tito, right? $8 Tito Mule. $5 High Noon. White Claw. Sheesh. And what was the other $5 IPA? And $5 canned IPA. Boom! Get your drink on. Please support. Give it up for Paia Bay Coffee and Bar, the BBCB, the new home for coming to Northshore. Ladies and gentlemen, your next community coming up. Give it up for Abra.
Thank you, Chino, and thank you, front row. You are beautiful. Look, everybody's smiling. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. This is like the best open mic ever, just starting out, I gotta say. Well, type 5. Okay, everyone close your eyes. Clench down in your mula bunda. Oh, come on now, I know you knew how to do this. It's like Kegels, but we're gonna call them puss-ups, okay? So tight as 5. Okay, now you can keep on. Now you can. Okay. So I recently fell in love, and I know this happens to me like twice a year, but I fell in love so hard, and like after 10 days I made a commitment. I let him move in. He's really cute. He is quiet. He helps around the house. He loves my kids. The only thing that like really bothers me about him is like when we go for walks, he takes a shit in the neighbor's yard and makes eye contact with them. Yeah, he's a dog. He's my dog. I love him so much. There's no bestiality involved, just so you know. Anyway, I love my dog. He's a great boyfriend. I swear to God, he's the best boyfriend I've ever had. I'm protected, I'm honored, I'm listened to. It's the best thing ever. He doesn't pressure me for sex, but he's always naked on my couch, and he doesn't have a job, just like every other man in Maui. Yeah, I don't have X's anymore. I have Y's. Why did I do that? Why do I make these bad choices? Why do I ignore red flags? Why do I love mohawks and men with vans and sharp knives? I don't know. Red flags that I think are hot. Go figure. Whew. Okay. So, I recently learned that treating men like I treat my dog is how they actually wanted to be treated. They want to be told what to do. They want to be told when they're bad. They want to be told when they smell like poop. And they fucking love that. They're like, please, tell me more. You want to spank me when you say that? Oh. I use comedy as therapy, if you can't tell. I'm off my meds tonight, so if anybody has any weed, let me know. I did find a therapist that I really love, and I've got to say that I'm autistic. Yay! I'm on the spectrum for Pride Month. It's kind of like being a little gay, but I think that would be like on the prism. I said prism, not prison. Yeah, Chino got it. Anyway. I love my therapist so much, but he has gone to Europe for the summer, and so we're doing all of our calls via Zoom. which really isn't fulfilling for me. It's just not the same when we're not having sex. But don't worry, I'm still getting paid. And at that, I'm going to give Chino back the mic. Yeah, that's right.
Keep it going for Abra, ladies and gentlemen. Great first set of the mic. And don't worry, Abra, we all have weed. Anybody? Stick your hand out, spin in a circle, point, stop. Yes, we have it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next comedian coming to the night, she definitely has weed. No, she, I mean, she might. Girl with bangs always has weed, if you don't know that. Test out the math. Girls with bangs, where you at? Do you have weed? Yes! You thought she was going to say no, but she fooled you. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one, the only Ronda Lee Kitts!
Keep it going for Chino LaForge. My name is Ronda Lee Kitts, and I definitely don't have weed. Not that I'm willing to share. We're in a recession. I like when there's certain companies that get canceled or that we're, not participating with anymore, like Target or Amazon. I'm like, that coincides perfectly with me not having any money. It's great. I'm a little confused. On my drive here, I saw there was a car in front of me, and out the window, I saw a little poodle's head sticking out, and then I saw another little poodle's head stick out next to it. And at first I was like, oh, that's cute. But then I'm like, this guy's allowed to have 2 poodles stick out the driver's side of his car. It was a man. And I'm not allowed to text. In what world does that make sense? I need to text my poodles at home. I heard from my mom today. She called me, as she usually does. And she likes to remind me every so often that despite her religious beliefs, despite what the Bible says about homosexuality, she's accepting of me and accepting of my lifestyle. She's like, it's Pride Month, Rhonda. I want to let you know I accept you. And I was like, that's great, Mom. Thank you so much. It would be better if I were gay. But I'm not. And I'm constantly having to remind her, like, Mom, I'm not gay and keeping it private. This is just what my haircut looks like. She's not the only one, That's why that joke gets so many laughs. It's because people are like, you aren't a lesbian. Wow. You really can't judge a book by its cover. Yeah, I don't mind that people think I'm gay. They just won't automatically say that. They'll ask other things. They'll be like, Rhonda, you played softball in high school, right? Yes, that's beside the point. Oh, and the other thing, since I'm not gay and now it's been disproven because I date men, the new thing I get instead of people thinking I'm a lesbian, now the new question I get all the time, it literally happens twice a month. People go, oh, Rhonda, are you from Alaska? Nobody asked, but thank you. Yeah, and I'm like, I get it, okay. I wear a lot of flannel for a woman in a warm climate. I keep my nails cut short. I give the impression that I could bear paw a salmon out of a stream. And I realized after a little while, I was like, oh, whether it's people thinking I'm a lesbian or people thinking I'm from Alaska, people look at me and they're like, something about her. She spends a lot of time in the bush. All right, guys, those are some of my tight jokes. Now do we want the loose jokes? We got a tight 2 or 3. Now let's do a loose something. I don't know. Oh, I lost my phone in Starbucks the other day, and thankfully I was with my boyfriend, and he's like, oh, you shared your location with me. I can see. I was like, oh my gosh, is it stolen? Did somebody take it? Did I drop it on the ground? It's like, no, it's literally right inside Starbucks. And we go inside, and there in the corner, my little face is pinging right underneath a table in the corner. And I wanted to just pull the table away and look underneath it, but I couldn't because somebody was sitting there. And I look around all the other tables, and they see me doing this, and I'm starting to think like, why isn't this person moving? Did they take my cell phone? And I keep on like looking around, and I guess it's important at this point to let you know that that person sitting there was a nun. But there's a lot of places to hide a phone underneath that habit, you know? And finally I told her, I was like, in the nicest way I could, I was like, give me back my fucking phone. No, it was behind a box though. The nun didn't steal it. That's a new reason I'm going to hell. A lot of people are into astrology. Yes. Yeah? Cool, I know, yep. I'm not super into astrology, I don't know that much about it. And so I'm also glad that my boyfriend doesn't know that much about astrology either. I thought I didn't know a lot, but I told him, he's like, what is your sign? I was like, oh, I'm a Leo. He goes, oh, so you're a feisty little tiger. He's such a Pisces. All right, my name's Ronda Lee Kitts. Thank you very much. Put your hands together for Chino LaForge.
Good night, Ronda. She's got plenty of shows going on. Y-Side, my Luku too. So if you got any friends that want to come out to comedy but just are not going to come to Northshore, let them know there's some Y-Side shows coming up soon. All right, coming up next to the stage, our videographer for the Comedy Simulator. So if you don't know this yet, we are going to be live streaming this show every week as well. Trying to turn this into something, maybe people want to get involved. That camera right there is going to be filming for our YouTube channel. We don't have enough subscribers yet, so it'll be posted post happening. However, if you want to join us and follow along, just go on YouTube, look up @Comedy Simulator. That's us. We got the name. Nobody else fucking got it. That's ours. So that's our We'll probably start Instagram and all that jazz soon too. But that YouTube is going to be our main station. So follow along. If you can't make it every Monday, that's fine. You can make it every Monday. You might have to put on some headphones because somebody might say something that you don't condone. So just keep your company just as careful as you keep your comedy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, come to the stage, the videographer of the Comedy Simulator. Give it up for Dan Steeby!
All right, thank you. I am Dan Steeby. Let's keep it going for Chino. All right, let's simulate some comedy here. Dear Lord. Thank you so much for coming. Everybody that is not even just in the front row, but thank you extra. I hope you get it. Sorry, that's, yeah. I'm easily distracted, so it might be from me. Who knows? I don't know. Dear Lord. It's a little bit about me. I tried to find out more about myself, so I started a list. 50 things about me. The first one, I don't finish shit. That's as far as I got. I don't know. Like Abra, I don't know about Abra, but I've been blessed. I found out I've been blessed with ADD. Yeah, it's a bit of a superpower. Yeah, but I'm confused. Like I don't even have. I know it's called ADHD now. It takes so long to say. God damn, like ADD, right to the point. I'm not gonna get distracted by possibly breaking glasses. But I don't even have the age. I'm not hyper. distractible. It's rough, man. I mean, especially, I don't know if anybody's ever been to Vibe, you know, you have graffiti everywhere. Here you got glowing balls in the background. That's gonna be hard not to look at. Man. But, you know, I've been finding out a lot about myself recently, and, you know, I gotta get in shape. I wanna get a girlfriend. Let's just be clear. And it's easier to get a girlfriend when you look better.
Not true.
Also not true. But yeah, man, I feel heavy, but like, I gotta get in shape. My wife thinks that's a stupid idea. Just another thing we don't agree on. Man. But then she thought about it, she's like, you know, whatever gets you back in the gym, yeah, go for it. I'm sure you're gonna do great. And it seems sarcastic. I don't think she believed in me. You know, and that kind of hurt a little bit more. Marriage is tough. Marriage is tough. You know, Fortunately, I've been married long enough that I found out one of the great things about being, you know, ADD-ish is like, I forget about a lot of our fights. That's a key to a long marriage. It definitely helps. Oh, man. But, you know, we were having a fight about something. I don't even remember what it was about, but I cut her off from sex. She still hasn't noticed, though. There's a flaw in my plan. There's a drastic, tragic flaw in that plan. She can hold out way longer than I can. Oh, man. But like the other comedians you're about to meet, I also love drugs. Any other drug fiends in the audience?
No.
Okay, that was pretty lackluster. Even though I am white with short hair, I do assure you I'm not a cop. And I found out it's a bad idea to wear a t-shirt, like a black t-shirt that says police across it to a drug deal. I think you're a cop. But then, like, the crappy part is I got pulled over and the cop didn't like that I was wearing a shirt that said police. I was like, Jesus, you can't just win. Man, fashion is hard. It's just really tough. But I hadn't seen a friend for a long time. And, you know, coming back from COVID, and she said, oh, wow, I thought you would have started a cult by now. I know, right? I was shocked. That was the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. You know, like, the faith they had in me, like the belief that I had, like, charisma and goals. Man, I couldn't pull off a cult. I can't even get my wife to think I have a good idea. I don't think I can get followers. You know, like, I don't know, everybody's joining a cult these days. Like, it's just, sometimes they don't know it's a cult. You know, sometimes it's red, sometimes it's blue. Oh, jeez, man. Cults are tough. Cults are tough. I think I just quit my own cult. Just drift away. Oh, it's, yeah. Well, you're on the way to start a cult, little missy.
Join my cult.
Feel free to follow her cult. It's gonna get you places. Yeah. But I am a dad. You know, I'm a girl dad. Any other parents in the audience? Of course, you, Mr. Talking all the time.
Right.
How many kids you got? How many puppies you got?
One daughter.
One daughter. All right, I got two. Beat you. Pow pow. Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough to be a girl dad, and knowing the degenerate that I am, and I have to protect her from people like me. So like, there's this duality that I'm still not quite, you know, I haven't come to terms with. You know, it's, you know, now anytime I have glitter on me, it's because we had craft time. You know, it's not because my face was in a stripper's titties. You know, and I'm having a hard time coming to terms with that. You know, oh, it's tough. But I was taking my daughter, you know, at the end of the school year, and I was just driving her to school, and you know, sometimes kids ask the weirdest things. And she said, "Dad, did the Nazis win?" And I'm a good dad, so I was like, "Look, honey, It's complicated. There's a little thing called Operation Paperclip. Now they're working for us. They're running, they're running NASA, FDA, and a whole bunch of stuff. But don't bring that back to school because Daddy doesn't want a phone call. All right? But I do have problems. I got a bit of an anger problem. I'm working on it. Therapy's been helping. But then I got a bill I wasn't expecting. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, I see your point. I'll see you next week. I'm Dan Steeby. That's my time.
It can't be easy being a dad, and it can't be easy being his daughter either. Holy shit, that's both times. Good luck to everybody involved. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your next comic actually joined me on tour this past week. I was in LA, Hollywood, and South Bay area doing some comedy shows, and this comic decided to tag along, and I'm not gonna lie, he's a newer comic. I was a little worried because he was in shark-infested waters. He was hanging around a bunch of killers, and you know what? He rose to the occasion. Killer killed. It was a great set. Ladies and gentlemen, hope he can repeat magic, lightning in a bottle. Give her Josh Kamalo!
Hell yeah, what's up guys? Oh fuck it, I'm gonna shoot my shot. Is there any single ladies under 75 years old that wants to go home with me tonight? No? Oh fuck it, where's the single dudes? I'll take whatever I can get. It's rough, man. So, I do this at every show, and one time I got lucky. Well, maybe not so lucky because fucking she ended up being a dude, guys. It was rough. You guys gotta laugh at my jokes, that was great. I'm coming on my best shit right now. Gay Pride Month, did anybody go celebrate Gay Pride Month? Hell yeah. My sister's a lesbian. It's true. At dinner, it's kind of awkward, so she always brings up shit like, hey Josh, when are you coming out of the closet? Bitch, I can't fit in a closet. It's tough, man. But the gays fucking love me because they think I'm one of them. And shit. I've been doing a lot of gay shit too in public. I danced hula one time, last month. And it wasn't the cool one they do at the football game. It was the shit. That was a fucking shitty joke. I'll never do that joke again. It worked in LA, but not over here. Okay. My best friend joined the motorcycle game. He got the vest and everything. And it's fucked up because he doesn't even have a bike, you guys. I didn't know if he was gonna do the Batman and Robin thing, or if he's gonna hold some dude on the highway and shit. If anybody's selling a Harley, let me know. I want to buy him one. It's tough, man. Yeah, that's great. I've been sick too lately, and I got a kidney stone. I had to go to the hospital. It was like 13 millimeters. It sucked, man. And the doctor said, oh, we gotta send you to the urologist. They're gonna put a stent in your pee-pee. I was like, hell yeah, I could use a stent, But I go to Maui Urology. I don't know if anybody's been there, and the fucking doctor is smoking hot. All the nurses in there are smoking hot. Maui Urology. Shout out. Yeah, you know all those hotties in there. Man, the questions they ask you in there are so personal about sex on the questionnaire before you see the doctor. Like some of them was like, how much times a week are you having sex? I was like, 3 to 5 times. Shit like that. Do you make your girlfriend orgasm? Hell yeah. Then they take you to the back of the room and 3 nurses come in with the doctor. And this bitch got my x-ray up in the air like this. I can see my pee-pee out. Hey, put that shit down. I didn't know she was gonna grill me like the fucking first 48, bro, about that questionnaire. It was rough, man. And why every time I go to the doctor, they're trying to give me shots? RFK fucking warned us about this shit. But I was there the other time and the lady said, you're due for your tetanus shot. And I was like, oh, that's one you need. Because if you step on a rusty nail, you get locked jaw. You don't want someone to slip their cock in your mouth on accident. It sounds like fucking RFK has cocks in his mouth when he talks. It's getting crazy. I'm gonna get crazy. But I am single, guys. I've been trying to look for a girlfriend, but I can't find one, man. It's tough. It's really tough for me. And I was married for 17 years, and I was out of the game for a long time. And when I got back into the game, I noticed every girl I date is bisexual. I know this because when I make love to them, they always want to suck my tits. Is that fine? You want me off this? Oh, okay. My bad. I got carried away. I like my tits too. And I noticed that when I do date a girl, I gotta make sure that her tits are bigger than mine. There's like a conflict of interest in the relationship, and we fight over this shit. It's true. And another reason why girls don't want to go out with me, I think, is because I live in an area where everybody like gossips and knows everybody's shit. It's the oceanfront gated community. You guys might know it. It's called Harbor Lights. It's true. You guys know where that is? Oh, it's the fucking ghetto. But hell yeah. Born and raised, motherfuckers. just like. But yeah, it's tough because like I was in the Special Olympics. Hey, fuck you guys, I was the coach. I'm off, thank you guys.
Oh, by the way, if any comedians don't want to be on the live stream, just let me know, and I'll put a little emoji over your face. We're still putting you on, but you'll have like a little goofy face, so just for us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your next comedian is coming off a show at the South Maui Gardens with Don Barnhart earlier this week. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ivan!
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What you're listening right now, if you don't know me, this is not a speech impediment. I come from another country, and English is my second language, and that's why I have these conclusions. An erected penis is a wood, right? Hold on, stay with me, stay with me. Now, a flaccid penis should be a wouldn't, right? A dry vagina should be a cannot. Ever. And breast always look tits. All right, I'll be back. I am bisexual. This is a very inclusive night, right? I don't know if you noticed that. Okay. Everyone go. No. I am bisexual, which means I have twice the opportunity of getting, you know, ghosted. Yeah, ghosted. I don't get action anymore, by the way. Yeah, this happens so much, I get ghosted so much, it's more like a paranormal activity. I actually thought of quitting my sexuality because of this. But you know what happens when you're bisexual and you quit your sexuality? You become a bisexual. And I'm bisexual and bilingual. If I quit everything, I will be bye. Don't count them. I got more to tell you. Oh yeah. So English is my second language, that's why sometimes it's very confusing for me. I was driving, I had a premise for a joke, and I said, hey Siri, take note of this. And Siri said, I created a note, it says, call Norman. Who's Norman? An English teacher, you need it, ASAP. Anyway, so I call Norman, he's amazing, he's great. He needed to learn Spanish, so he teaches me English. I blow him in Spanish. Yeah. Imagine how would that go, like, la casa es amarilla. Oh! El gato está abajo de la mesa. I'm finished. He's not. I went to Target, and again, this is a confusion with English being my second language, right? I went to Target, I was looking for a spatula, whatever. I asked one of the people working there, where do you keep your kitchen stuff, right? And she looks at me and goes, the homosexual aisle is aisle 7. What? She said, I said, the home essentials aisle, it's aisle 7. Thank you so much. After I got home from Target, I noticed my house there was something off with my house. And I noticed I had termites. Yeah, for a long time. They are long termites. And I went to my landlord and I said, dude, we have to do something about this, right? And he goes, no, we can't. They are on the lease. Yeah, he showed me, it says, termites and conditions. And I said, okay, you're not going to like this. Termites are gay. Yeah, not because they would, not because of that. It's not because of that. They make you remodel the house. And when you remodel the house, you're looking for stuff, so watch out. My name is Ivan, thank you so much.
All right, your next comic is unpredictable because relatively new to the comedy game. So, you guys ready for some chaos? Yeah. Ready for the tight 5, loose 5? We'll see how it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Hammy!
Is that my description? Wow, so yeah, my 3rd time doing open mic, so please be patient. Wow, so live, yeah? Hello, Facebook. Chino, you're saying I could get that emoji on my face. Can I get that and also one of those like voices from, like, you know, when someone's like telling a secret thing? Yeah, and then I will do comedy. Anyway, that's not any of my material. And actually, I don't have any material, but I have owned a bird before. Anybody have any bird owners in the house? Bird owners? Yeah, right here. This guy. What kind of bird you got?
Australian zebra fish.
Oh, that's cool. Alright, so I'm talking about parrots. No, just kidding. No, zebra fishes are badass, dude. They're beautiful. Anyway, so I had this cockatiel, right? And I wasn't gonna bring out that, I was gonna say it way cooler. It actually, I didn't choose it, it chose me. Yeah, I was roofing, and the thing flew, I saw it in the sky, and it flew down at me, I threw it in my car, and it was winter, so I didn't think he was gonna freeze to death if I didn't take him home. But it was a rad bird that I had for a while. The funny thing about this bird, though, is I had this strange screwdriver that was kind of banana-shaped, I guess ergonomic, and it ratcheted, right? And I don't know how I figured this out, but he loved that freaking screwdriver. Like, I mean, he banged that screwdriver, right? Oh, and I'm gonna self-censor, so I was thinking about trying to do something. When I self-censor, do you guys want to try to like say the other word? Is anybody interested in that? If not, we can skip it. You guys want to try? Let's try it, okay? All right, so he loved the screwdriver and he'd really bang it. What did I not say? No, okay, let's not do that. Okay, so I put some notes, some stuff that I wanted to talk about. Let's see what I got here. Yep, the bird thing. Oh, no, that's not funny either. So World War III, yeah, we're like kind of like dodging that, right? Hopefully, it's kind of nuts in the news. Anybody been reading the news at all or social media and stuff? It sucks. No, but you know what though? It's kind of cool because I heard they want to do like a ceasefire, right? So there's got to be all these generals at the Pentagon just with blue balls right now, just like, ah! Anyway, what else do I got? God damn it. Generals gathered in their masses. That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna be like live, right? Kind of like the end of Wayne's World. You guys remember that? Like, ladies and gentlemen, crucial time. Oh yeah! And the man in the back says, "Everyone attack it and turn it to a ballroom blitz." That's what live makes me think about. Alright, thanks. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. And everybody give it up for Chino. I just want to give one of those. And Paia and Maui. Okay, here's another one that's gonna be short. It can be longer eventually, but when our restaurant that I work at opened, it was during COVID, and it was tough. And also my boss had a baby, right? They're like newly parents, new restaurant. Lots they were stressed out, right? And I remember coming in one day and I was like, man, I got the best nap today. And I realized that like to people who are new parents, any new parents in the house? No, okay, good. Yeah, they're out. You know why? They're not here because I figured out that nap is like the N-word to like new parents. You know what I mean? Nap. Nap. I said nap. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna finish up with this. It's an impression. This is, I have a nuance, I'm trying to remember his name. Austin Powers Faja, you know, another Mike Myers reference. And he's doing, what's his name? Michael Caine, doing Smashing Pumpkins. The world is a vampire, shed to drying. Secret destroyers. Oh, secret destroyers to the flame. And what do I get for my pain? Betrayed desires and a piece of game. All right, thank you guys. That's all I got. Thank you.
No. Let's sit in that. Let's sit in that for a second. Let's sit in that. We've had some solid comedians all night, and then we got a rookie comic up, and that's what that feels like. It's okay. Hammy, give it up for Hammy one more time. We own the experience. We've all been through that, Hammy. Don't you worry about it. You come back and you do that shit again, and you do it over and over and over until you stop sweating when you do it. I know when things go bad, it's an immediate sweat. All right.
Never stop sweating.
Never stop sweating. That's right. All right. So we're gonna see a big variance right now because we've seen our local talent, we've seen a newer talent, and now we have a nationally touring comedian that decided to pop in our open mic. Ladies and gentlemen, not only is he a killer nationally, singer of one of my favorite bands from back in the day, Wax. Ladies and gentlemen, give it for Joseph!
Give it up for Chino and everyone you've seen tonight. Come on! Oh my gosh, it's good to be in Maui. Literally, I don't know, I got here today. And everyone that gets off that plane is stressed until you start hanging around here. I love it. I love being in Maui. I love seeing a $10 million house across from a burned out car. I love that. It's just the dynamic. Just car burned out, $10 million house right there. You guys love to leave the burned cars just there for everyone to see. You guys talk about doing scuba diving tours. Just take me on a tour where I can light a car on fire. I would do that. That's the kind of time I went in Maui. I don't want to go surf Lani Apoko. I want to do speed. I want to get in a car with someone sketchy, light it on fire, and then it's here next year, still there. That would be a fun night. That's a fun night in Maui. You guys, it's not, I mean, if you, that right, you should market that. Like while I'm on the plane, just burned out cars. You too can do this. All right, I'm in. What else can I say? I'm stoked to be back over here. It's always great to see Chino. Ham, right? Never met anyone named Ham? That's awesome. You look like a ham too, just boom. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be a big boy if you're gonna be Ham. I love that. Can't be, you look like you could be roasted. I love it. And you know what? Chino is so right. Like you getting up here and doing comedy, dude, you're up here, you're doing it, you took the steps. So many people think they're gonna do it. You did it, that was awesome. And you don't need to do it anymore because you did it, you're done. You're done, you've lived it. Let's get a car tonight. There's a Prius out front. Me and you, we're lighted on fire. That's what I'm talking about. That's a fun night. Yes, this place would be packed if we could light a car on fire. Just watch it. Ham, I had one time, I did a show once where I was up on stage and somebody yelled out, "Go back to your job at Foot Locker." And I was so out of it. I'm like, when did Foot Locker become lame? Like I didn't even know. Just people yelling things. One time, Chino mentioned I sang in a band. Later on, are any of you guys familiar with the band Bad Religion? Okay. I got a Bad Bad Religion story. Check this out. So for the people that know who Bad Religion is, you know what kind of fans Bad Religion have, right? Okay. For the people that might not know who Bad Religion is, you can figure out what type of fans they might have. You can figure that out. So I got asked to open up for Bad Religion, and I was so stoked. And I come running out on stage, and the place is sold out, and I grab the mic, and before I say anything into the mic, this dude up front, covered in tattoos, slick back hair, just yells up, "We love you, Joseph!" And the whole crowd, like 1,200 people just go like that. You guys are nailing it. Just totally like that. Yeah, no one. And then, up in the balcony, the most just out of jail, on parole, tattoo on the neck, voice yelled, "You suck, Joseph!" And all 1,200 people went, "Yeah!" And then, no, check it out. Little dude yells up to scary guy, "Hey man, you got a problem with Joseph, you better shut up before I come up there and make you shut up." Crowd goes nuts. There's a pit that starts, a dude stage dive. Before I knew it, little man gets on the stage, goes across the stage, and now he is up in the balcony and two dudes are fighting. They're throwing blows on each other. I hadn't said one word into the microphone. And all that went through my head is, are there really two dudes fighting over me right now? It's like, this is where it's at. See, I get into those situations all the time. Because you know what my problem is? Anybody else, you think it and say it? Does anyone do that? Like a voice says, "Don't say it," and then you go, another voice like, "You should say it." Dude, I was doing a show recently where there was a dude up front, he's not looking at me, he's staring everywhere, just not paying attention, and then finally I go, "Hey bro, what are you doing?" Like, "I'm here," you're looking there, and his wife leans in and goes, "He's blind." Bro, and before I knew it, I'm like, "Don't say it," and the other voice, "You should say it." I'm like, "Well then put him in the back. Why is he up front?" Like, that's kind of a jerk move. He could be outside just listening. He doesn't need to be give this seat. I get into trouble. I once said to my wife, we were hanging out, we had a croissant out, we were drinking coffee, it was a Sunday, I got hit with inspiration, Chino. I came up with the idea, I said, "Hey, if we ever had a threesome," I don't know, it was the croissant, it just made me feel so, I don't know. But I just go, "Hey, if we ever had a threesome, let's make a list of everyone you'd want in the threesome." I thought that would be fun. Bro, don't ever do that. Because she showed me the list and my name was not on the list. And it was like a long list, like, "Whoa, who's Carl from Costco? Who's that guy?" So then I got divorced, yeah, because I thought it and said it. And now I'm over here with my girlfriend. Yes. We've been over here a few times, and one of the first trips over, she's like, "Hey, we're gonna surf, we're gonna do some of this, we're gonna do some of that. How do you feel about nude beaches?" Right, you know the beach you guys have, or what, Little Beach, is that what it is? Look, the room got tight on that. She's like, "How do you feel about nude beaches?" And when you're in a new relationship, you gotta be like, "That's my jam. I wanna go. And all that went through my head was, when the day comes, I'm taking everything off except my shoes, just in case something goes down. You know what I'm saying? And the day came, and jumped out of the truck, I took everything off. And she's like, "What are you doing?" "We're in the parking lot of Costco." I'll leave you with this though, man. I'll tell you right now, all the people you want at Little Beach that you think are naked that are gonna be there, they ain't there. They're not there. I'll tell you who's there. These two dudes. That's who's there. These two dudes, that gentleman over there, and they're playing frisbee, and I haven't seen a frisbee since the Sevs, and there's people there throwing frisbees around, just like, "Yeah, dude, you wanna play?" And I had my shoes on, I'm like, "All right, I'm in, let's go." Hey, you guys, thank you guys so much. Give it up for Chino. My name is Joseph. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Hey, one more time for Joseph, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, let's just point out the things that separated, like cleared the mic stand, right? Gave you the full show, interacted, was in there. Let me know. All right, I'll leave you with this. That's my cue to come over here. That's professional. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for Joseph. He's showing you some finer technique points that are going on behind the curtain as the show's going on. All right, back to local talent. Lower those expectations back down again. Hey, front row. You guys are gonna get some beer koozies, all right? Thanks for just sitting right up front, being gunners. You guys are awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for next local talent, Mr. Jimbo.
All right, thanks for that flattering introduction. Everyone, did you enjoy that professional comedian? And now Jimbo. Super stoked to be here. I am turning 35 in about a week, a little over a week. Doesn't feel like that. I'm coming to some terms, some realizations. One is that it's one of my last chances to get into a different shape. Otherwise, this will just be the shape that I am. And inevitably, forever and ever, amen. The problem is, I like this shape. I do. I play basketball. I'm fucking good at it. You wouldn't know that. Until it's too fucking late. Right? And they always match me up with somebody that's my shape. And I'm going to win that battle 10 times out of 10, okay? The other day in the men's league game, I actually pinned someone against the backboard. And thank you. For those of you who don't know how fucking incredible that is for someone my size and my height, I jumped and pinned someone against the backboard, barely, but I did it. And I know you've all been to like sporting events and stuff like this where you've heard like, ooh, ah. But have you ever heard 60 people collectively go, huh? It's a very, very intriguing sound to hear a stadium make. You know, honestly, I'm also at a time in my life, I don't know much about health, or like being healthy really. I take Pepto-Bismol for everything. Like, if I have a headache, I'm taking Pepto-Bismol. A stomach ache, depression, fear of World War III, nuclear attacks. I really don't know anything about health. I don't. I know that you're supposed to brush your teeth like twice a day, brush your teeth. I do know that just because a drug is legal doesn't mean it won't ruin your life. I know that Q-tips are bad and that Kangen water is a scam. That's it. The list. That's all I know. I recently had to go to the emergency room for the first time in a long time. Like, I'm telling you, I'm very privileged and blessed. I don't have to go to the emergency room. I'm pretty sure that everything I've ever had, amoxicillin could solve. Okay? It's like, I had to go to the emergency room because I had a boil in my manly area. Okay, it's been a weird night, so I'll just go deeper. It is the area between your butthole and your balls, which is we're a gooch crowd. No taints? No taints? Scream if you're a taint guy. That's not the first time he's screamed that he's a taint guy, Joel. It's actually in my phone is gooch guy. I'll change that tonight. I will. I had a boil down there, and I popped it because I'm an idiot and played basketball. That's all I really got going. So I took like 6 Advil, popped it, got infected, went to, sounds so funny, it was not funny. I went to their first urgent care, because there's multiple in the story. First urgent care, I knew I had to do that at least. Like, I had to go to urgent care. He takes a culture, takes a sample, says, hey, rest. Here's some antibiotics, go home and rest. I'm like, when you get the rest from the urgent care, you're like, yes, that's all I gotta do? All right, cool. I don't need to do anything but just rest. I took that to heart. That's all I did. 2 days later, it's not good. It looks really bad, and my girlfriend goes, you need to go to the hospital now. And I said, no. I'm gonna go to another urgent care. Try it again. I went to the second urgent care, and she said, you have to go to the emergency room or you're going to die. You have staph, and if it gets into your balls, bye-bye. That fucking worked. That worked. I took health seriously and was like, all right, I'm gonna go to the emergency room. I go to the emergency room, and I just want to say our doctors take great care of us. I thought they did a great job, except for the one that squeezed it. She sucks, but all I want to say is that trust the hospitals. I know it's hard to. I know we don't think our doctors care about us, because for a long time I thought that like our doctors didn't care about us that much, but I tell you who does what I thought a doctor would do, and that's our vet. Any pet people in here, any dog people in here? Our vets really give a shit about our animals, and I'm gonna tell you for a fact I know that. My dog, Chester, super cute dog, like everybody's dog fucking is. Tore all 4 of his CCLs, like his ACLs. He couldn't walk. I know, it's very sad. He's old, whatever. I can say that. He can barely walk, so I took him to the vet. The vet gave him anti-inflammatories, pain pills. He's doing much better. However, he's gonna be on pain pills inevitably to the end of his life. And the doctor sent a note with the prescription that said, if you take him off of these pain pills, don't do it suddenly. Do it over time gradually. So if you take him off the pain pills right away, he could have a sign of depression, anxiety, or worse, shmooshine. Suicidal thoughts in a dog. And I thought the same thing, like, how the fuck could my dog have suicidal thoughts? Like, have you ever thought about if a dog could have suicidal thoughts? I'm like, that's bullshit. Bullshit. And I'm like, you know what, I don't want Chester to be on pain pills and rest. He was like, it's good. So I took him off the pain pills. Fuck, I was wrong. I came home the other day and he's in the corner of the living room sports gambling and doing whippets. We're going places, me and my baby boy. All right, thank you guys. My name is Jimbo.
Suicidal dogs and infected taints? What are you saying up here, dude? Gooch. I'm a taint guy myself. We covered this. I am a taint guy. Can you imagine? Because he didn't go to the emergency immediately. He didn't do that. You know, he's got a girlfriend. You know, he was sitting there at home. He's like, babe. In full wifey position. That'd be so adorable. I wish I was a fly on the wall. All right. We're a little past halfway through the night. Guys, first of all, give it up for yourselves. Enjoy comedy on a Monday night. We appreciate you guys coming out. We will be having a tip jar for people to tip. If you want to tip, we appreciate it. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. I can't remember it, so I'll save it for the next one. Oh, that's right. You may notice there's a bottle of hot sauce right behind me. This is going to go to the audience member of the night. I don't want it. Yeah. I don't care if you don't get it, because you're being rude already. You're disqualified. See how that works? No, I'm just joking. But the audience member of the night will get a bottle of hot sauce. This lovely couple over here saw me at the farmer's market, decided to come to a comedy show. I already sold them the hot sauces. So I won't make, because I'm biased towards you, I would give this hot sauce to you. So instead, I'm going to buy you drinks. So you guys can each have a drink on me if you don't mind. Thanks for coming to the comedy show. Really appreciate you guys. That's how we treat you in the comedy simulator. And then we abuse you with like people like this next act. Ladies and gentlemen, the roommate of Jimbo. You know that they're in cahoots. Give it up for Jamie.
Thank you guys, that was very loud. So these are my beautiful friends. They're visiting us from Washington State. Thank you. Make some noise if you're from Washington. They are of Lebanese descent, most of them. And they're actually supposed to be in Lebanon right now, but there's like a war or something going on. I don't know. I'm just sorry about that, as you would expect. I don't pay attention to that shit. So they're like fluent in Arabic. It's actually, I kind of get nervous sometimes when they speak it. Like, it is a really beautiful language, but like, have an escape route, you know what I'm saying? I had written down some shit. That was all I had prepared, actually. Let's delete my search history real quick. Usually, was it 5 minutes tonight?
Yeah, full 5.
Full 5. I've never lasted 5 minutes. What did you expect? I'm actually horrible at public speaking. I don't even like doing things outside. Have you guys heard of the Irish goodbye? Anyone knows that? The Irish goodbye? Well, I do the Irish hello, and that means I just don't show up or reply to your text at all. Just don't talk to me, please. Let's see. This is gonna be off in here. Hold on. So actually, I'm a Paia boy, if you couldn't guess by my skin color. Actually, grew up here. I've been out in Paia since I was 5 years old. Actually raised by 2 blind parents, if you can believe that. I'm literally not bullshitting, it's a true story. My father was blinded in the incubator when he was a baby. They gave him too much oxygen, and my mom just had some disease or some shit. I don't know, she has glass eyes, it's pretty sick. Yeah, but anyways, having 2 blind parents was pretty sick growing up because I was the porn plug, which means me and my homies could just come over to my house and like we could just like watch porn without them knowing. Not in a gay way though. I actually had a nickname growing up. It was called the King of the 3rd grade. Yeah. So I actually noticed Jimbo. So we are roommates. This is true. And I just don't understand why nitrous humor has not worked once. It didn't work in Story and it's not working here. Which makes sense because like when I'm on Tinder and shit, I'm only doing it when I'm doing nitrous. So just so you know, this is who's out there. Be careful. This is the nitrous dating pool. I just wrote, mother text to speech, I'm retarded / autistic. I don't know what that means. Alright. I think I'm getting close to 4. I don't know anything. So I'm dealing with addiction here a little bit, if you couldn't tell. It actually got really bad because Jimbo started getting worried for me, and he was up here talking about his ball sack for like 3 minutes. And then it got even worse when my dealer started texting me being like, are you there? Like, late. But you know, I'm doing all right now, and I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Have a good night.
Sorry, that took me a second. That wasn't 5 minutes. It's okay. Good job. No. That's how we're friends. We can talk like this. How do you talk to your friends? I've seen your group texts, assholes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your next comic is the roast battle winner from this year. If you were here for the roast battle, you've seen him rip it up, earn himself a headlining show. I'm thinking we're going to do it next month. I'll talk to Daniel about it, the manager. I mean, after you better kill, you better have a good set. No, just joking. I just got to put the pressure on him, just mess with him. Ladies and gentlemen, give it for Joel Hewins!
All right, everybody keep it going for Chino, huh? And while we're at it, let's give it up for our new venue, Paia Bay Coffee Bar. This place is awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for showing up. Thank you, sir, for showing up. What's your name?
Bassam.
Bassam. We got him. This was all a ploy, Bassam. See, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. No, I'm kidding, man. I'm actually a Nigerian prince. My bastard brother is trying to get me out of the family fortune. I need you to hold on to $1 million for me. I'm just kidding, man. I'm a comedian. I'm a comedian who found himself being a victim of a scam call the other day. Now, everybody, I am about to do an Indian accent. I'm only doing this to properly and accurately depict the conversation, all right? I got a phone call. Hello? And the guy goes, yeah, I'm trying to reach out to Joel Hewins. I'm on a recorded line. Could you please tell me the last 4 of your social? And then I said, you bloody bastard, you cannot steal any of my fucking money! You goddamn motherfucking son of my bitch! Yeah. Thank you. No, seriously, clap. I gotta find my notes. Clap. I wrote that joke on the way here. And I'm really happy that landed, because if it didn't, you would all think that I'm autistic and racist. So, glad that went over well. I crashed my car the other day. I didn't even say the punchline yet. I crashed my car the other day, true story. I crashed off a cliff on Hana Highway. Yeah, I did. Let me tell you, that's the last time I ASMR and drive. Be careful. Now, I wish I was doing a bit, but that's the truth. I was really tired, and I was so excited about sleep. By the way, that's a reminder that I'm closer to 30 than I am 20 at this point, is when I get really excited about sleep. And I decided to pregame on my way home. You know, one moment, all you hear is, breathe in. Breathe out. And all of a sudden, I'm dreaming that I'm driving along the Grand Canyon. When out of nowhere, I straight up Thelma and Louise that bitch, dude. I felt, this is what I woke up to, by the way, right? I'm asleep. All 4 wheels got off the ground. All 4 wheels. Before I could even open my eyes, I crashed. It was a horrific mess. It was terrible. But yeah, I got a new truck. I wrote that joke on the way here and that was pretty cool. I tell you what though, my AC compressor in my car works better than ever. Apparently when you compress an AC compressor, it blows twice as cold. Let's see here. I got a daughter. Everybody go, aw. I got a daughter. She's gonna be 5 years old in September. I know, it's adorable. And I'm really concerned about certain conversations that I'm gonna have to have with her as she gets older. You know? Like, it's gonna be kind of awkward when I have to tell her that I'm in fact not the strongest man on earth. That's gonna be kind of a letdown. And I'm also kind of concerned about the day that she finds out that lesbians aren't just men with really long hair. Yes, my daughter thinks I'm a lesbian. Yeah, my daughter, as I said, she's 5. She can't really pronounce the word comedian, but she knows what I do, right? She knows I do stand-up. So she goes around at her daycare, and she goes up to her friends and her teachers, and she goes, you probably don't know this, but my daddy's a silly man. And a lesbian. My daughter really struggles with the letter S, right? And as she gets older, we have to correct her. The other day, she said, Daddy, I want to go outside and pomp in the puddles. And I said, no, sweetheart, it's stomp. Stomp with an S, and you have to correct her. She's kind of bashful about it. And then the other day, she said, Daddy, can we go to church and can we ting? Can we ting? I said, no, honey, it's sing with an S. Sing, you have to correct her. And she's kind of bashful about it. Well, sometimes the best thing that you can do as a father is nothing. Because the other day, she said, Daddy, are you gonna take a nap? I said, yeah, baby, I'm gonna take a nap in here. And she says, oh, okay. I'm gonna go into the hallway and play with my cooter. And I had to stop her. I had to stop her and say, no, sweetheart, it's scooter. It's scooter, sweetie. But that's not a conversation that I wanted to have with my 4-year-old. So I just let that one ride. All right, guys, my name's Joel Hewins. That's my time. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we got so much comedy coming for you. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, Sauce, you ready? Yeah. Sorry, I forgot to tap you on the shoulder. I thought you knew. Ladies and gentlemen, your next comic is the Musubi of comedy. So adorable. We all love him. He's delicious. Give it up for Chuck Sauce, Chuck Thompson!
Oh yeah! I'm gonna put this right here. It's good. Look at that! Look at this! Hold on, touch it. Just touch it a little bit. No, okay. All right, hold on. Touch it. Touch a little bit. All right. It's good. Would have gone on less if you touched it. It's okay. Also, your legs are in perfect reflection in this, like, whatever this is behind me, just so you know. Okay. It's good. I'm not sitting down anymore. I could let her know. It was good. I enjoyed it before. I enjoyed you a little bit more, tight blue shirt, but what are you going to do? We're in Paia, baby. Wow. Whoa. I love towns named after ricey dishes. It's good. Wow. It's fishing here. It's $57. That's good. I don't know what cumin is, but I'll eat it. You guys have good teeth. You're not from here, right? There's no way. There's no way. You're wearing a polo shirt, but you're looking to play golf. What's going on there? You wear your sunglasses at night, but you're not Corey Hart. What's the deal, Skitch? What are we drinking over here? Are you wearing jean shorts? What's it like getting laid all the time? Is it good? Must be great. I feel like in 500 years, people are gonna do like DNA tests, and it's like you and like Kubla Khan. Holy Christ almighty, I need to change my diaper. Holy fuck. So good. How about you, blue shirt? What's going on? You're amazing. You're wearing glasses? I see you in 2020, I see you in 2025. What do you do? All right, you're wearing your purse like I'm gonna get robbed. What's going on there? What'd you see, an Instagram video about how to not be like taken advantage of in Paia? Oh, that's good. You're killing it right now. I don't know what you're doing. You're also wearing your purse like you're gonna get robbed. This isn't Madrid. That's the wrong Paia. My name is Chuck Sauce. I've been on island for about 11 to 13 years now. I forget because 2 of them were stoned. The other 2 were baked. Oh my God. Who was here during COVID? Anybody? Yeah! Yo, COVID? Bro! I thought sex was good. You ever have a lizard eat a bug off your body in your backyard when you're listening to John Prine because he just died? That's new sex, baby. It's so good! Sex is a lot like Taco Bell, right? The beefy 5 layer is a lot better when you're 19, right? Right? It's so good! It was so good back then. I know you're an Chorito gal. You want to taste Supreme today, but you're gonna get Santa Fe. I like that Taco Bell is like notoriously dog food, and then do you know who they had as their spokesperson? A dog! A dog! And not even a dog with the least amount of meat. This ain't Madrid. So my name is Charles, and I was born in Connecticut. Connecticut's a really diverse state. It's a lot like the front room. There's a lot of honkies. And growing up, my parents used to trace my height against the wall every year on my birthday. Hey! In 6th grade, they stopped tracing my height and just started tracing my hips. They say shake what your mama gave you. Too bad you can't shake diabetes. Or maybe you can, my sugar's low. I don't know. It's good. People say I run like a girl. And it's true, I do run like a girl. Really fast. Yeah, away from my problems. I feel like a girl, mostly because when I was growing up, my brother Henry is a little younger than me, and he's a loser, and no one showed up to his birthday party, so I ate all the ice cream cake and all the pizza, and I got sick, right? And my parents are like, you're lactose intolerant. And I'm like, no, I just ate all the pizza. That's the Domino's effect. So they started putting me on soy milk. Bro, remember soy milk in the late 90s, bro? I'm an old man. I was born in 5 BC before Clinton. They put me on soy milk. 4,000% of your natural estrogen intake. And I'm so glad there was no adverse health effects to that. At all. At all. I feel for you women, you know? Me and my wife, we swap gender roles. It's true. For instance, as a comedian, I make 80 cents on the dollar. Good. I also bleed once a month when I floss. Okay.
The Moose of Being Comedy ladies and gentlemen. Careful. He'll steal your girl. Right out from under you. Literally, that's the only spot you're not looking. No, one time he said he was gonna fuck my mom, but she's got like a really tall bed. And I assessed it, I'm like, he's gonna have to climb the old pet stairs to get to my mom. Yeah, he's still hitting it. All right, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, your next comic runs the Tuesday night comedy open mic in Kihei over at Vibe. You want to do Tuesday night? Go see him in Kihei, 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock. 8:30. He's doing sign language I don't understand. Talk to Morgen. You'll see him at Vibe tomorrow night. You'll see him right here, right now. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to Morgen!
Thank you, Chino, and thank you everybody for coming to Paia Bay Coffee Bar. It used to be just Paia Bay Coffee. Then they moved across the street, and now they're Coffee and Bar. This is my friend Jack. He's been with me about 16 years. I think he's gonna outlive us all. And it's funny because he thinks my girlfriend is his girlfriend. He gets depressed if we don't go over there and hang out. Like he gets fed out of the refrigerator, you know, lunch meat and, you know, all kinds of treats. And, you know, right now, he's trying to make me look bad, but no, make no mistake, I don't have children, and there's a reason I don't have children, because I cannot take a child and, while I go surfing, tie him to a tree for 3 hours and expect that Child Protective Services would not be there when I arrive back to reclaim my dog. But no, he does just fine. Most people will remember him and not me. As far as names go, and he does have a lot of friends. Meanwhile, I get off his subject for a moment. I realize here in Paia, I'm not carrying the correct amount of change to help out the needy, the homeless, whatever you want to call them, these folks that ask. The other day I had a guy fall out of the bushes right in front of me, and he had a nice pair of Maui gyms on. He had a beautiful Tommy Bahama Aloha shirt. He's got a ukulele from Mele Ukulele, $400, you know, and he says to me, "Brother, could you spare $5? And I was like, "Man, I mean, like, I used to, you know, help these people. I used to give them, like, see what I got, spare change, here's a quarter, you know, be on your way, you know, have a good one." But $5, I mean, like, my God, it's just gone up so much. The other thing I want to tell you about is I know there's a war out there brewing, and I'm not talking about the war in Iran or like Ukraine or any of that. It's a war. It's a war on drunk driving, everybody. We're losing the war on drunk driving because if you're like me, you have to have a drink or two before you get behind the wheel because you're so concerned about some drunk coming along and smashing into your car. You know, it's like, you know, you gotta loosen up and get out there and enjoy yourself. You gotta live your life. The other thing I was gonna mention, where was I? Oh yeah. So, I recently been trying to eat better. I recently rediscovered cottage cheese. And it's funny because I didn't ever know that cottage cheese is not actually cheese. It just occurred to me. But I heard you guys are from Seattle, Washington State. It's close enough to Canada, and it's funny because if you know our recent history, we were talking about taking over Canada, and I was kind of wondering about, like, does Canada even have a military? I feel like on a good day, our Salvation Army could kick Canada's ass. Hey, throw some towels on those fuckers. Here's a blanket for that big bastard. How are we gonna take over Canada? We're fucked. I mean, I'll tell you what. There was this fantasy I had about Donald Trump, and he's going to hell. You know he's going to hell. But when he gets there, it's like not everybody can fit there because they're already so crowded. They got so many bad people, and so they show him. We're going to make a deal with you, Trump, when you go to hell. And the first door, they open the first door, and it's that Milosevic guy who slaughtered all kinds of his own people. And Trump's like, nah, man. And he's there, and he's like, you know, he's trying to get out of there. And he's like, well, if you take his place, he can go. And Donald Trump's like, nah, I don't think so. And then opens the second door, and it's George W. Bush, and he's smashing rocks, and he's like, yeah, I can get out of here. Donald Trump's like, nah, man, I couldn't do that, living with the rocks smashing all the rest of my eternity. Then he goes to the third door, and they open it up, and it's Bill Clinton, and he's laying in a bed, Monica Lewinsky sucking him off, and he's like, Trump stops, and he's like, man, you know, I think I could. Yeah, I can handle this. I'll take this door number 3. And they say, okay, Monica, you can go back now and sit here with Bill Clinton for the rest of eternity. Thanks, you guys. Hey, take care.
Morgen, one more time for Morgen, ladies and gentlemen. You know how they say sometimes dogs look like their owners? That is like the most adorable case. Like when he's telling jokes, like kind of staring at the audience, like he's just like staring out this way. so adorable. So we do have a show coming up here at Paia Bay, not just the open mic, but the actual show. We got Willie Simon coming back out. If you remember Willie Simon, paid regular at the Comedy Store from the Maui comedy scene. That's right. We built a fucking real one, and we're gonna ride his backs into the sunset. He's our workhorse. He's coming back July 3rd. We got a bunch of the friends on it. Make sure you guys make your way out to that. If you want to come see some legitimate professional comedy, I'm not saying this isn't legit, but professional. This is not. This is not professional, but it's fun. You guys are having a good time? Awesome. We just busted out the tip jar. Tip jar's right over there. If you don't mind throwing some in, I'm gonna split it with the comic of the night. That's how we do things here. Whoever wins comic of the night will split the tip jar. Or I'll give it to him if it's low enough. If you guys are not generous. I was like, I don't want your $7. All right? But if he's making more than me, guaranteed I'm taking half that shit. There's no fucking way. No one's making more than me tonight, except for the bartenders and servers. By the way, give it up for the bartenders and servers tonight. Maddie, you're killing it back there. Thank you so much. One more please. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, the young lady we talked about earlier having a cult, you will see why. She has the riz. Ladies and gentlemen, get up for Tara!
Okay, I'm gonna riz y'all up, I guess. Like Chino said, I'm not a professional by any means. Yeah, mostly I love comedy. I'm so grateful that it's continuing here in Paia Bay Coffee. I love Paia Bay Coffee so much, so thank you Paia Bay for hosting us and allowing us to continue the simulator. So as you guys might have heard, I am starting a cult. JK, I am just a meme lord. I have an Instagram and it's called Keep It Super Shanti, and it's really fun and it's fairies and it's inspirational and it's pink and it's for the girls, and it's really great because my father has told me my whole life like I'm delusional, so I just kind of made it into my brand. And so, you know, there's a lot of projection that I get having this platform, and sometimes they're really good, and most of the times my comments are girls like just as delusional as I am, and we're like, yeah girl, like cheering each other on. So I recently went to a co-ed retreat, and one of the biggest takeaways from this retreat was how like the men weren't really listening to the women's needs. Like we were just like, hey, like there needs to be more attunement, and we came to this like conclusion that women want to guide and we want the men to lead, but we want you to hear us, we want you to listen. And so I tried my best to speak this on my Instagram and share this, and it's been really ironic, and I want to share with you some of the nice things that the men have been calling me on the Instagram. So for every mean comment, there is another girl who is like, yes, listen. But unfortunately, I think I got thrown into the wrong algorithm, and I'm like, what in the Andrew Tate is going on right now? Because these guys are calling me really mean names. Well, they think it's mean, but they're calling me delusional, and I'm just like, wait, that's my brand. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read some of the nice comments. So we have chicken hands. We have don't need a guide. If you're hungry, make some food. Okay, let me just backstory also. So I just use the example of food because men are always like, what do women want? And what do you want to eat? Like, we all saw The Notebook. Like, what do you want? And it's like, okay, so I use food as the example being, okay, the guiding and the leading. Women guiding, men leading. So listen to me. I'm saying I want this. The man says yes. I will lead you to the food. You get testosterone. I get food. We're all good. And so they all took it as me just wanting a meal. So they kept telling me to make my own food. But then a girl's like this, and then a guy says, nope, I'm out. And then one guy said, guide them to this D. And then another man said, a woman claiming to be a comedian is so cliche. Exhausting. Just stop. The kitchen is this way. Okay, hold on. I think you know how to get to McDonald's. My baby mom is independently rich. I highly recommend it. Oh, nah. Okay, wait, hold on. Guys, I'm so sorry. I want to screenshot them. Hold on, I'm a little nervous with this because I'm getting roasted all day, and it's actually ironic because the last time I was on this stage, I was getting roasted. So a man said, hush, and I said, listen, and he said, never. And he said, stop yelling, and I said, never. I'm Italian and Spanish. This is my voice. These are my hands. He said, okay, this is fair. I said, I feel seen and heard. Thank you, Chapman. I'm sorry, I'm like processing this. Okay, another guy said, I'm sorry, I'm just going through all these mean comments. Just give me a moment here. Yep, this is me processing. Okay, another guy told me, let's play a retarded victim. And then another guy said, that sounds like a stupid game, no thank you. And another guy said, understandable, as I was a child too. And then another guy said, sounds like you're leading him to find you food. Another guy said, okay, you want a cheeseburger? And no, I want a veggie burger. Can't win no matter what. And I'm like, bro, did she tell you she was vegan? Like, are you bringing a vegan girl to a steakhouse? Like, they aren't even listening. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so there's like 100 comments if you want to go and look and read them and defend me, and defend my honor as the Lord of memes of Paia. Yeah, that's all I got. So, yeah, thanks for letting me share and process that. I'm going to turn my comment section off after tonight.
Yo, the first comment you opened with was chicken hands. Did you?
I have really long fingers.
That's fucking hilarious. You should hire them as a writer, seriously. Chicken hands? Dude, how do you make a girl feel insecure about her hands? Chicken hands? Chickens don't have fucking hands. That's hilarious. That's so funny. They don't even have fingers. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got about 5 more comics left. We're gonna round out this night. You guys ready for the home stretch? You guys have been a fantastic audience all night. Thank you so much for being a part of this. We understand it's the end of the night. I know how that feels, Feel free to get some more drinks. They got espresso martinis. We did last call? Doing it last call. Last call, ladies and gentlemen. You hear that? Time to round out those tabs, get those last drinks. We got a few more left for you guys ready to do this? Let's do it. Round of third. We're going home. Ladies and gentlemen, come to the stage right now. He's been many things to this community. You've seen him rap. You've seen him do so many things. Now he's going to do comedy. Ladies and gentlemen, give it for Clyde.
Everybody make some noise for Chino one time. Giving us little comedian guys a chance to the game. Aloha. How much people in the house from the Northwest make some noise? How much people from Cali make some noise? East Coast, down south make some noise. All right, I just want to welcome you guys to your 90-minute seminar. You guys made it to the. You guys got the trip to the West End and a free boat trip this evening. No, I'm just playing.
I used to be one of those guys at the, when Front Street was a Front Street, and I'll sit up at the booth, just like this, just chilling. And when you're doing cold call sales, it's really hard. You gotta really like get in the mind of the people by just judging by what they're wearing and how they look, you know? So I always look out for baseball jerseys and hats and the styles of clothes, how they wear. So I'll see somebody from, let's say, Washington wearing a Seahawks jersey. Let me test the Seahawks fans in the house. See! We got 2 loyal fans there. We got 2 loyal fans. What part of Washington y'all from?
Bellingham.
That part of Seattle?
Like 2 hours north.
See, everybody in Seattle say they from Seattle, but they live in like Bothell and Kirkland and far off. Did you guys know that Kirkland was an actual place in the United States of America? Yeah. I freaking did not know that shit. I worked at Kirkland Costco, and I was like, this brand is a place in America? God is good. God is so good. Man, I was like, bro, I get everything from Kirkland. And I didn't even know I was working at, the first Costco was Store 001 by the Pink Elephant. You know what I'm talking about? I heard it got messed up in the rate of the COVID time. Like all the homeless people burned it down or something. Right on, she got it. Okay. So long story short, the guy who was talking about why is there burnt cars in Hawaii? I just want to go on a trip and burn car. Let me come back from the local side of that story. So the locals, the only political way I can express this is the locals don't play. That's why there's burnt cars on the side. Other places you visit play. But if you're from Texas or LA or New York, you know some people don't play. So Hawaii is one of the places, checklist, just like Texas, Hawaii don't play either, but they don't play. But what is the definition of what it means, right? All it simply is saying is that they don't want the big tourism country to come here to capitalize on Maui. We're the last of the Mohicans, y'all. So for those who want to keep Maui, just get a Turo app instead of a rental car and try to, you know, my advice as a local, just get a car that looks local. Get yourself, go to Walmart, get some Lay's, put it on the thing. My name's Clyde. Thank you for your time.
Keep it over Clyde, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 more left. We're gonna keep this rolling. You guys want to get in this? All right. I don't know what to say about this next comic because he's only performed once with us before, and I believe he told 2 jokes. They were all right. So I mean, his numbers are good if we're talking ratios. Ladies and gentlemen, get up for Johnny a.k.a. 47. That's his Call of Duty name, Johnny a.k.a. 47.
Aloha. Aloha, Paia. How y'all doing? Y'all enjoying y'all's comedy night? Yeah. All right, well, this is my second time on stage. And you know, they say that when you're nervous, you're supposed to act like the audience is naked, right? So instead, I was gonna get naked.
It's a liquor commission violation. You gotta get dressed to get upstage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, okay. Well,
it's the law. Sorry, man.
I got to put
Boo,
my
liquor
clothes
commission.
back on.
Yes. Okay, clothes back on.
You the shirt?
Yeah, every shirt too. Dude, it's... Johnny, you did it. You already did it, so they saw it.
Well, y'all saw it, and y'all see how lame these liquor laws are because you can't even take your shirt off in Hawaii.
Sure do.
Or, you know.
That's a different show. You can see that at Pro Arts on Friday nights with the burlesque groups. They have liquor spacing for it.
If y'all grew up watching Saturday Night Live like I did, there's this one episode where Pamela Anderson actually said the same thing and she got naked on the stage. So I was trying to do the same kind of similar thing, but obviously you can't do that.
Put your shirt on, dude.
Yeah, but the microphone. Well, now y'all got to see me get undressed and dressed, so how about that, all right? This mic likes to fall right out of this thing.
That never happens.
I guess they're not used to the natural element. I'll even put my flip-flops back on. There you go. All right. Okay, so now we're back dressed up. So, my name is Johnny, and believe it or not, I am Osage Indian, and I come from the deep, depth heart of America, all right? So, in the village, I'm Osage Indian. And a long time ago, there used to be a chief there, and he was responsible for giving all the names to all the children in the tribe. And then one day, a young brave walked up to the chief and said, "How do you get the names for all the children in the village?" He said, "Oh, it's quite easy. When a child is born and I see the sunrise, I shall be called the sun is rising. And when I see a child born, the leaf blowing in the wind, it shall be called leaf blowing in the wind. And when a child is born and I hear a coyote howling long in the distance, the coyote shall be called, the child shall be called coyote howling long in the distance." And so he says to the young brave, "So tell me, two dogs fucking, why do you ask?" That's right. So I hope y'all are enjoying y'all's vacation, or if y'all live here, I hope you're enjoying your time here. Welcome to Paia, welcome to Maui. There's nothing but aloha, and remember to keep the aloha in your spirit wherever you go. I'm Johnny, a.k.a. I hope y'all have a good night. I try to do another set, but obviously I put my shirt back on. I've been told that more than once, honestly, so it's not that big of a deal. All right? All right, aloha, everybody.
Was that? Oh, don't your phone.
Actually, when you know that you couldn't do that, you get away with it. So.
That's okay, you did great. One more time for Johnny, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I want to help promote you. What's your OnlyFans? Is it Johnny AK-47? Don't worry, I'll find out. I'll look. See, that's the thing. You look great. You look great with your clothes off, Johnny. You look great. You look fantastic. But also, it didn't get any laughs. You can't take off your clothes and have a buff body and expect people to laugh.
Yeah, I was mad.
That's why fat people getting naked is so much funnier. You know what I mean? No, we did do that at the last venue, but we weren't selling alcohol there, so it wasn't a problem. I could get naked up there as long as everybody was like, "More." All right, but I won't. Ladies and gentlemen, your next comedian for the night. It's hard to describe what's about to happen. Just watch. Ladies and gentlemen, give it for Earl.
Hi, I'm Earl. I'm fired up. I'm pissed the hell off. And now, cause no politics or nothing, Earl don't get pissed off about that. Nah, that's just how I am. Especially when I've been drinking. And brothers and sisters, I've been drinking a lot lately, mainly because of politics. You seen this shit? I ain't been paying no attention whatsoever because I got a therapist now. Court ordered. By the way, I would not choose that. But my therapist is worried I'm getting a bit radicalized. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, that petite pooch bourgeois piece of shit. I don't know. But apparently we're about to nuke Iran or some shit. And let me go on record and tell you, I'm against it.
Yeah.
We already fucked up the Middle East trying to make our little imperial vassal state. And then we fucked it up like 3 or 4 more times after that. Just for good measure. Maybe we ought to stop fucking shit up. And that's my 2 cents. That's all I gotta say about that. Actually, and all that said, and as against wars of aggression waged by 2-bit wannabe fucking monarchs I may be, I would do anything for my country, America. So tell that son bitch they really need to find proof of Iranian war, nuclear buffoonery. They ought to call Earl. Who's Earl, you might ask? Well, I'm fucking Earl and I find shit. You missing something? Did you lose your shit? Did you put your shit down somewhere and now you don't know where you put it? And you need to find it? Well, call Earl. I'm Earl. You lost your car keys? Well, I'll find them. You lost your cell phone? Consider that shit found. Did you lose your debit card? Well, we both know you left that at the bar, you degenerate son of a bitch. But I'll march on down there and I'll get it for you and I'll tell your wife. Well, I'll get into that later. I will tell somebody something. Did you lose your whole fucking wallet? Well, I'll find it for you. Now, there might be some money missing, especially if you didn't pay Earl a little extra to keep that from happening. But I found that money. But most of your credit cards and personal information will probably be safe and will not get into the hands of the government. I can guarantee you that. That is the Earl guarantee, and I ain't even gotta write that shit down. That's my word, and my word is as good as gold. And hell, I can find gold, by the way. Did you lose your immigration papers? Did them shits not even exist in the first place? Well, I will forge them for you. Just like I can forge your lost rings out of the fiery wreckage of my so-called life. My name's Earl. I'm good at 2 things. Finding your shit and losing my own shit. And if you don't pay me to find your shit, well, I'm gonna lose my shit. See, I lost my job, I lost my wife, I lost my kids. I told you I lost my job. I found a new one. That's finding your shit. And on that note, did you lose your wedding ring? Because I ain't gonna help you find that. I ain't helping nobody's fucking marriage right now. Did you lose your dick in another woman? Just let her go. That's your fault, motherfucker. Just let her fucking go. Like I said, I'm Earl. If you don't pay me to find your shit, well, I'm gonna lose my shit. If you don't pay me that money, I might just find that money. I might just have happened to have broken into your house and found that money, along with all your personal information. And that's my money now. Finders, keepers beats robbery in Earl's book. Maybe not the law book, but in Earl's book. And you bring the law on me, well, they're gonna find a judge. And I will find that judge. And I will find a way to persuade him with violence that I found on the internet. And even if he don't fucking acquiesce, well, I've been to prison, and I got friends there. And I can find a way out, and find a way into your room. And one day you'll find me in your back seat with a rag and some chloroform. And all of a sudden I've got a new life. I got a new wife, new kids, they're your kids, but I found them. I'll make her fall in love with me, of course. But all of this could be avoided if you just call 555-6969. I'll find your shit.
He was over a minute and 20 seconds ago, but I couldn't stop him. I was transfixed, like I'm off to the flame. I have so many missing things in my life, and I didn't know they were missing until I found Earl. How was that? That's beautiful. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your next comedian started joining us not too long ago. We're stoked to have him. He's been killing it. Hope he has a great set tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, give it for Bashar.
Keep it going for Chino, guys. So yeah, my name is Bashar. I'm from Iraq, but I know most of you will call me Bashir and ask me about my life in Afghanistan after that. You know, the thing about stereotypes is nobody actually knows anything good about your country, right? Like I never had anybody walk up to me and say, yeah, I heard you guys make the best falafel out there, right? It's always some dude asking me if I rode a camel to school growing up. I did not, so some people are so confused. But being Iraqi American, that means I had to give up on some dreams. You know, growing up I really wanted to be a pilot. You know what's fucked up about 9/11 is none of them dudes are actually Iraqi, they're all Saudi, but somehow we get invaded. It's like your least favorite cousin gets into a fight and them dudes come back and fuck you up. But I was just reflecting on that time when everything went down, and I just remember it was like free for all, people were just looting. And I specifically remember people like looting AC units and stuff from like government buildings. I remember looking at my dad and he was like, nope, we're not stealing anything. And just recently dawned on me to like how morally sound you have to be for you to not steal an AC in Iraq. Right? So needless to say, I have a lot more respect for my dad now. But yeah, things have been crazy, so I had to kind of lean back on religion. When I say religion, it's that one religion. It's not Buddhism. And I've had some hard times, especially going on dates. You know, I got on a date with this pretty girl, and she was like, "Well, how by the book are you?" Right? And I was like, well, it depends what time of the year it is, right? You catch me in the holy month of Ramadan, and I'm 100% by the book. Right? Slowly moving away from it until I'm gambling in Vegas doing cocaine with this girl I just met. So, it's all about timing. Okay. I'm gonna end up with this one. Just trying to find balance with everything that is going on right now. And as hard as you try, it's kind of just a fleeting thing. And I remember a friend of mine, he had to take out his tonsils because they were getting infected of how much cocaine he was doing. And a part of me just have so much respect for him. I'm like, at least you know what you want to do with your life, right? That's my time. My name is Bashar. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen. Jesus Christ, look at that bicep vein. Shit. You got a fucking Snickers bar in your arm. What's wrong with you? Jesus. Are you natty? Are you natty? Yeah. Fuck, that makes me so upset. We're gonna talk diet. Or something. What are you doing? I know what it is. He's done a lot more in life in general. It's just strength-based. I'm just a video game player. I'll never know. All right, we got 2 more comics, and then Dub's gonna end up the night with us. You guys ready for this home stretch? We're doing it. Tip jars over there while Dub sets the around. I'll walk around so you don't have to inconvenience yourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, this next comic has done comedy with us once, and it was fun. I liked it. I hope you like it. Ladies and gentlemen, give her Joshua.
Oh my God.
So a whale walks into a bar and he says to the other whale,
The bartender looks at him and says, "Shut up, George, you're drunk."
I don't know what you just did, but this girl's dying over here. Holy shit, show me your ways. Was that like hypnosis? That wasn't comedy. He's doing cruise ship, Joe. That was a fucking hypnosis thing. He's like, look at my eyes. Now shit yourself. That's what I did. Joshua, our whale of a messiah. Joshua, one more time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is we got 2 more acts. This next person is gonna try to do comedy tonight. First time, Tiffany? First time, Tiffany. That's what we're calling her tonight. That's her name. She was gonna win Audience Member of the Night, but she forgoed it for this attempt. So, ladies and gentlemen, get up for first time, Tiffany!
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Do you have anything to wipe this off? Because I think this hasn't been wiped off since Harbor Lights touched it. So, all right, you guys, my name's Tiffany. I literally have never done comedy, not with my friends, not anything. I just wrote this like 5 minutes ago, so bear with me if it's not what you got doing. I want to thank Joel for inviting me out tonight. He did jungle zipline? Yeah, jungle zipline. He just said, hey, I'm out here doing it, so I actually came to see Joel. And thank you for Chino, too, so I appreciate you guys. So me coming out here and doing comedy for the first time, it's kind of like losing my virginity at 46. So that's kind of scary there. I'm newly single, so I'm getting out of an 8-year situationship, literally by about 7 hours. So, yeah. So I'm kind of like, thank you. So I'm kind of like, fuck it, let's try some comedy tonight. And that's kind of how my whole relationship's been, so let's give it a try. It was a bit terrifying to come up here. But I figured I've got 2 teens and I'm a middle school teacher, so it's kind of like, hey, this is way easier because I can have alcohol, or at least not in my Stanley Cup, so. So as a newly single person, I'm not really looking forward to dating life. I'm reminded of the last time I was single before this. I married super young. And I'd been with only 1 man at the point. And my husband of 20 years left me for a younger woman. Right before my 40th birthday as well. So I decided to do what most women will do, and I decided to do a glow up. I worked out, I looked really hot, I looked pretty good. I glowed up so well though that when I took a job as a pizza delivery girl, my coworkers thought I was in my 20s. So I was like, holy shit, this was like throwing meat in the piranha tank. I worked doing pizza delivery out at Paia Bay on Oahu. which is a military base out there. And so working in military base with a lot of young Marines. You guys, anybody, any Marines in here? No? No military? Oh, then this joke won't go over well. So, anyway, I guess, yeah, I'll skip that one. Anyway, so my newly single life, it involved a lot of dating. I decided, hey, you know what? I've been with one man my entire life. I was very faithful, and I just thought, well, heck it, I'm gonna just have fun and see what's out there. But my goodness, it was like really crazy going out there. I was delivering pizza one night, and I had this guy, he came into my car, and, well, he didn't come into my car. He did, but we delivered pizza next to a bar. We delivered pizza next to a bar. And he said, please, if I order a pizza, can you deliver me too? And I was like, sure, why not? So I got him in the car, but he was really, really drunk. And he said, hey, it's my 21st birthday. Do you think, like, I've always wanted to be with an older woman, always. Do you think you could just give me a chance? It's my 21st birthday. I want to be with an older woman. And I was like, dude, like that's not the way to get a woman into bed is by saying an older woman. And he's like, but I'm 21, I'm 21. I said, how old do you think I am? He said, 28. And I went, oh, maybe I will drive you home. So that was my first experience. I didn't actually go home with him. He didn't make it quite that far. He was passed out, walked into his room with a pizza, left him. Gave myself a nice tip because I signed his tip line there. It wasn't the tip I had been hoping for, though. So my next situation was the best worst compliment I ever got. I went out with this guy. He was probably about 26. Can I get two more? He was about 26 years old. Oh, he was chiseled, absolutely gorgeous. I'd never been with someone so gorgeous in my life. We went on a few dates, I kissed him, you know, we just had a little bit of upper body action going on. And we're getting ready for our third date, and he asked me, he's like, hey, I'm really nervous about asking you this. He's like, but you know, like, you're just so gorgeous. You're like just all woman. And I just have to ask, like, is that really who you are? And I'm like, well, what do you mean really who I am? I'm a nice girl, and you know, what are you talking about? He goes, no, like, last time I went out with this really gorgeous woman, she wasn't like all woman, you know what I mean? He goes, and I just don't want to have that happen again, you know, like if we go down below. And I sat there with my mouth open going, oh my gosh. So that was rather interesting, our dates ended there. But that poor dude found out the wrong way of what his date was. And then my last one was, we had a gentleman who was at the bar all the time next door, and he was flirting with me left and right, but this guy was probably 20 years older than me, had a huge, huge gut, not real well kept, and he always kept asking me out, and I said, dude, I don't want to do that. Finally, he broke down, and he said, please, please. He goes, my wife, she never goes out with me, and I'm like, dude, you're married? Okay, no way. He's like, just a BJ, please, I just want a BJ, just, you know, he's like, I can satisfy you, we can do this. And I was like, what the hell's wrong with you, man? And he proceeds to roll his tongue out of his mouth below his chin. And he says, you see, I've got some talent and I really want to share it with you. I was so offended. His tongue looked like it was, you know, like he was one of the members of KISS. So I looked at him and I was so mad. I gave him the riot act. I was like, I am so offended. This is absolutely disgusting. I cannot stand you. I don't even know what to do. So I proceeded to just storm out of the bar and straight into the back seat of his car. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Great job, Tiffany. First time doing comedy, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Tiffany. Most first-timers don't ask for more time. That's incredible. That's a good job. Most of them like want to get the fuck off the stage as fast as possible. You hung in there. If doing comedy for the first time is like losing your virginity, you lasted way longer than I did. That's for sure. Holy shit, 6 minutes? Hell no, not the first one. Not even the second one. Maybe the third one? Nah. 150th? Nah, still, I'd still. I'm 38. It's still, they're just thinking. No, great job, Tiffany. Thanks. One more time for Tiffany, ladies and gentlemen. She's not listening, but she can hear the class. All right. We got a final act. We always close the Comedy Simulator with this gentleman. You see him around Paia. I know you do. He's a wonderful artist, a beautiful soul, very talented player of music. Is it funny? Sometimes. But it's a great way to end the night. And, you know, we set aside our differences, Dove and I, you know, because we don't really like each other that much. But you know, he's gonna do his thing. I'm gonna walk around the tip jar. Chuck, you're the comedian of the night. Good job tonight. Would you guys all agree that Chuck had the best set of the night? That was a fucking killer set. Great set, Chuck. You can see him July 3rd here at Paia Bay Coffee Bar, Coffee Bar, I said it right, PBCB. No, Sauce gets to split the tip jar with me. Audience member of the night gets the sauce. And what, you want to pick the audience member of the night?
I do.
All right, go for it. Who do you want to pick?
I want to pick into the jar.
No, we don't have a jar. Shut up. I am picking you, miss, right here, second row, in the middle. You sat sandwiched between these two gentlemen the entire time and laughed your ass off. You've been wonderful. It was almost you. It was when you died at Whale Song, like, but I already gave you a gift, and that was the only thing that made me feel split. Thanks for sitting in the front row. You guys have been awesome all night. Give it up for this group of friends. They're wonderful. Please, follow our YouTube channel at Comedy Simulator. We just need 50 subscribers. Follow us and then mute notifications. I don't care if you never watch it. We just need the numbers. So give us the numbers so we can do our thing. July 3rd, I already mentioned it, but I'll mention it again. At Comedy Simulator. That's what this show is called. The Comedy Simulator, because this is a simulation for comedy. Comedy Simulator. No the, just Comedy Simulator. All right. Please follow along. Please tell your friends to follow. Hey, make up 5 bot accounts and follow along. Is that a question? Okay, you're just flexing on me, dog. All right, ladies and gentlemen, your last act of the night. Give it up for Dove.
That's all you get. I turned on that. We don't need no singing money.
Hi. I've never done this before.
Liar.
No, Lair. This morning, I woke up, I had to pee. It wasn't the first time through the night. I can't remember if it was light or dark, but I was in kind of a semi-sleep state. And some words, it's loud enough? Some words were just going through my head. And I said, this is like stream of consciousness. And so the first thing I said, and I wrote it down because I knew I wouldn't remember. I said, I'm writing a piece called 3.5 Friends. And I said, I don't know what it's about, but it kind of sounds funny. And like I said, I was just in a demented free state of mind. So here I go. Talented toes stick up my nose and tickle my brain into laughter, making me cry. I don't know why. I guess that's just what I'm after. New by design, gives me a sign, pretending it's all an illusion. And that's what I wrote. Feel free to quote. And with that, my friends, is conclusion.
Right. Woo.
Thank you very much. Oh, copyright 2025. A lot of people were talking about cults tonight, and I met some people the other day. They seemed like really nice, but after not too long, I realized that they were trying to draw me into their cult. I didn't even know what it was, but I could just tell energetically I didn't want to be any part of this, so I just turned around and walked away. And then I thought, well, what's the difference between that and propagating vegetables in your garden? One is cult evasion, and the other is cultivation. A few days ago, I didn't get a chance to eat breakfast, and I was in Wailuku, and I was starving. So I walked into this little specialty kind of food store, and there was a mom and pop kind of thing. And there was an older woman behind the counter, not the counter, behind the cash register. And is that for me? I'll keep going then. There was an older woman behind the cash register, and she didn't look very happy. Anyway, but I was hungry, so I said to her, I said, "Do you have any eggs?" And she stared at me, and she said, "That's none of your business." So, and then she figured she would get back at me, I guess, and she said to me, "What, do you have any sperm?" And I said, "Yeah, why, you hungry?" So looking at me, you probably wouldn't believe I was on the football team in high school, but I was. Had one of the back positions. It was flashback. It was my job to remind them of how good they used to be. And my girlfriend was on the team also. She had a position. It was in the men's locker room. It was the missionary position. Yeah, 1 minute, that's what's left? All right, I'll skip any songs. You'll catch me some other time. I just want to tell you what happened to me. I went to sleep a few nights ago, and I had something that I really wanted to print on my printer. And I woke up in the morning and saw that it hadn't printed, and it was because it was a laser printer, and because it was out of toner. So, I had a new toner there, and I took it out of the box, and it was just a black and white printer. And it was in the morning, again, I had to pee, but you know what happens when a guy has to pee in the morning, you get an erection. So anyway, I was still half asleep once again, and I opened the box, and I spilled some toner on my boner. And yeah, turned my boner black. So, yeah, now I've got a big black dick. And my girl's all over that. But the rest of me is the same as before. I don't know what to do. A guy who's got a big black dick, and the rest, at best, is black and blue. Well, what do you mean black and blue? Well, wouldn't you like to know? All you need is to look at me, or at least when I'm allowed to show. And let me warn you about the risk of having a big black boner. The girls may think it's hot or sick, and you can end up alone.
Well, that was oddly tone deaf for a musician. What happened there?
You held your finger up. And
I held my finger up. I did nothing of the sort. Why didn't you play the guitar? What was the whole point? You brought it up here?
It's a prop comic.
Well, I want to learn how to play guitar. I was hoping that if I brought someone would know I was serious.
Well, we'll take you seriously, Dub. Thank you so much. Hey, give it up for Dub one more time. The final act of the night. I guess we'll call him comic because that was a comedy. He wasn't doing any music. No music tonight. No music, Dub. That's what. No, most certainly not. You are done. Thank you so much for joining us for the Comedy Simulator and Simulation. The simulator is now over. You can now be as rude to the comics as you want to. We don't have to pretend to be nice to them. Thank you guys so much for joining us for the Comedy Simulator. It happens every Monday now. Tell your friends. If you had a good time, tell your friends. If you didn't, shut your fucking mouth. We don't need rumors. It's a small island, and Paia is even smaller. One more time, Chuck was the winner of the Comedian of the Night. I'll be splitting the tip jar with him. Good job, Chuck. Yes, other comedians, Rue of the day. Thanks once again to the #1 audience member of the night. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Congratulations. Was your name Hannah? Hannah, that's a beautiful name. It's a palindrome, is it not? Yeah, same forward as is backwards. That was the smartest I'll look tonight. That's it, you guys. From here, it's all fog rips and video games. I'm not gonna look any smarter than right now. Get home safe. Have a great time. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye. Aloha.